r/AskReddit. All you can eat buffet workers, what are your horror stories? I bus at a slightly nicer restaurant. On Fridays and Sundays we offer a prime rib and crab leg buffet, among a salad bar, hot and cold entrees, and a dessert bar. It's honestly pretty nice, and our buffet runner keeps anyone from doing ungodly things to the buffet. But the one incident that will always stand out to me was when this family of 5 came in. From the moment they came in to the moment they left, they ate as many crab legs as they possibly could. Their server and I were clearing plates off as fast as we could. But every time we would return it seemed like another mountain of crab leg shells would appear in front of each member of that family. I know not how they ate so much, and I honestly can't recall if they are anything besides the crab. Piles upon piles of shells were left upon the table after they left. It was truly a sight to behold. What's more is, after I wiped down the table and came back with settings, I had to get another rag to wipe down the table again, because something in the crab leg juice combined with our sanitizer and left a nice milky residue upon the table. Delicious. When I leave this job I'll never be able to look at crab legs the same way. Years ago, I worked at an all-you-can-eat country buffet in South Carolina. I was a busboy. One day, I went to a table. It was a mess, as per usual. It looked to be a large family/group of families of around 12 people or so. The thing that stuck it in my memory is that whenever they had finished with what they were going to eat, they would scrape their plate and use it again. Scrape their plates onto the floor next to their chairs. So next to each chair, there was a 6-inch to 18-inch pile of chicken bones, crab legs, mashed potatoes, remnants of baked potatoes, etc. Just disgusting. A woman came in with 2 of her kids and had a pretty regular meal. You pay when you leave at our place, and she decided to sneak out with her younger daughter before paying, leaving her underage son alone at the table. We caught on pretty quick and sent someone after her, who found her in her car in the parking garage, waiting for her son to come as well. She refused to come back in and pay, so we had to keep her son hostage until the police came to handle the situation. What some people will do to their kids, I swear. Went as a customer to a Golden Corral. In walking to the chocolate fountain and 3 little girls step in front of me, and all 3 of them just go hands deep in the fountain. The family was the first table by the fountain and all they did was laugh about how cute it was. Employees turned it off immediately. My first job was as a dishwasher in an all-you-can-eat fried catfish buffet. People are animals, especially the ones that get far more food off the buffet than they can eat. Then they take the leftovers and pile them on a plate or tray, cover in ketchup and tartar sauce, then pour their iced tea over the top of all that. A lot of people did that, got at least 2 plates like that a night. Nothing made me hate people like busing/dishwashing on buffet night at the pizza place I worked at in college. What the fuck? Serving after church crowd is pretty high up there though. Jesus Christ would never have changed a dirty diaper on the table and left it there. Okay bitch. Not mine, but I had a buddy who was 400 plus lbs and the dude could put away some food. He went to a casino buffet that was one of the higher end ones that had crab legs and steak. On about his 4th or 5th plate stacked full of crab legs, the manager came out and gave him $250 in free slot play to leave the buffet. Edit. So I linked this to my buddy who pointed out that there were 2 other dudes there and none of them was under 300 lbs. They killed a metric fuck ton of food between them, and he was putting them to shame. The buffet was higher end, so it was $50 a person, but they easily all ate probably 3 to 4 times that, and he ate probably 8 to 10 times that worth in food. He then went on win just over $100 with that free slot play as well. If you can't beat the casinos at the games, beat him at the bar or buffet. Wold been sick if he held out for more. Da fuck you talking about, boss? I'm just getting started. I'm going surf and turf this motherfucker into the ground unless I see 4 of those vouchers. Picked up some fish and chips recently. Saw they had all you can eat on Wednesdays. So I asked what is the most that someone. 18 pieces of fish and 3 plates. She held up this huge platter of fries every single Wednesday. So he eats that exact order every week? Yes, and he goes to a different all you can eat every day of the week. He got banged from the Chinese place down the road. not a buffet, but I worked at a pizza parlor that offered a lunch buffet of endless pizza. The lunch ran from 11 AM to 3 PM. This gentleman comes in, I think he was homeless. He serves up a sky-high plate of pizza and just goes to town. He stayed from the beginning to the very end to make sure he got his money's worth. Well, his body didn't appreciate being stuffed like a pinata of pizza. He got up, waddled fast to the bathroom, and next thing I know I'm being told he had liquid shit trailing behind him to the bathroom and inside the bathroom. I was informed by my boss about the incident. I told him I was just heading out for a break. I was not about to clean that up. Fun fact, in the US, if you are not certified in cleaning up biohazards, your boss cannot make you clean up something like that. Nor can they, legally, fire you for refusing. Yeah, instead they'll fire you for being 5 minutes late that one time. Buffet where I live got shut down for serving coyote meat and labeling it as other meats. A place near me got busted last year for trapping seagulls on the roof and passing it off as chicken. No shit. A place my family used to frequent just got busted earlier this year for have caged pigeons in the basement. I worked at a Ruby Tuesday in Center City, Philly, first floor of the Liberty Place building. I had a couple that would come in about twice a week that requested me. They would gorge themselves at the salad bar for about an hour, ask for large glasses of water with no ice, then both would take the water into the bathroom. They would come out a few minutes later with empty glasses, ask for the check and leave. I finally put it together that they would be bulimic after I walked in the women's bathroom and it smelled like vomit. Very polite folks and tipped well though. College friend worked at a Chinese buffet. He said they caught a regular dipping his pizza in the wonton soup bowl, like, in the queue, and not at his table, and eating it. Bite, dip, bite, dip, bite, dip. After the 4th time in a month he did it, management finally kicked him out. The classic 4 strikes and you're out. My parents owned an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I was there every day of my life from 4 to 14. My favorite horror story is when a couple came in to eat. Obviously, they love-eared the crab legs, and every time my mom puts them out, they took it all. Also, just a reminder, crab legs are expensive. Forget the other customers, they just took it and ate it all. So they're there for maybe 2 hours now, and it's getting dark. They've eaten through at least a week's stock of crab legs and my mom finally decides it's enough. She stops putting it out in the buffet and brings individual plates to the customers who wanted it, but couldn't get any due to this couple. Understandably, the couple is angry. They literally flipped the chairs at their table, flipped their plates, bowls, cups, etc. and completely trashed their area. Food was all over the floor, table, chairs. Sticky soda was dripping into the carpet. They left in a hurry, but someone caught their license plate. We called the cops and I think they said they charged them with something. I can't remember the aftermath details clearly, because I was probably 8 or 9 years old, 20 now. I just remember looking at the mess and feeling really angry that my sister and I had to clean it up with our mom. It was a family-run business, so we didn't have much help. Anyways, that's my horror story. The end. I had a co-worker that briefly managed Orion's buffet. He said that it was fairly common for people to gorge themselves, then purge in the restroom, and start eating again, so that they could get their money's worth. Leave it to Ryan's buffet, where the quantity is the goal and 8-year-old kids are 6'0" with mustaches. When you talk about something gross at a buffet, Ryan's is always there to say hold my beer. They legit just have ham sitting in boiled water. MMMMN. Hot ham water. Not an employee, but once I saw someone using their shirt as a bag and filled it with BBQ chicken wings. You promised me you won't tell anyone. Not a worker, but I once saw a grown man have a childlike meltdown over the fact that he showed up to Soup Plantation too late and missed out on the biscuits and gravy. To be fair, that really is a traumatic experience. I didn't work at an all-you-can-eat, but my sister did. The buffet itself was on the first floor, so you had to take either the stairs or the elevator to your seat. Once there was a lady who was carrying a tray with a whole lot of stuff on it down. Glasses, plates and a whole lot more of junk. My sister asked the lady if she needed any assistance, to which the lady replied, "You assume because I'm fat, I need help?" My sister didn't react. A few seconds later the lady fell down the stairs. There was blood and food everywhere. Family was gone, and I saw their dirty plates with napkins crumpled on top, so of course I clean it up and bust the plates. 15 minutes later they come back, and the mom starts yelling at me in Spanish, so I get my co-worker to translate, and basically her daughter's retainers were in the napkins and I already threw them away. She kept complaining about how they were $250 plus, so I literally had to dig through a huge trash can full of a sludge of food and drinks for 15 minutes. But fortunately I found them, and the daughter thanked me, and she seemed embarrassed that her mom made me dig through the trash. I'm sorry you've had to do this, as I have as well. In my case though, the mom was really cool and offered to take gloves and dig herself. We said nah, we gotta do it in the back anyway. Still took digging through two 55-gallon cans 75% full. Not fun. Pickle boy. There was this man who used to come into our restaurant who clearly wasn't all there in the head. He was functional but very weird. As the months progressed, he got way weirder. He started wearing women's underwear over his clothes, even going so far as to stuff his bra. Picture a 6 feet 2 inches 250-pound dude with a baby face wearing silky underpants and a laced bra over ratty jeans and a stained Hawaiian shirt. That's our guy. He went from being able to hold a sort of normal conversation to just spouting conspiracy theory word salad. But the weirdest thing was his change of eating habits. He used to eat a variety of our soup/salad/baked potato options from our buffet, but as his mental health deteriorated, so did his desire for variety, I guess. By the time his weirdness devolved to aggression, and we had to 86 him, he was coming in for two things: pickles and ranch dressing. He'd pile as many pickle slices as he could onto his plate, then put so much ranch on them the dressing and pickle juice would be running all over the tray. He'd eat it all, and his face would be covered in ranch and pickle bits. Then he'd drink water straight from the pitcher he inevitably stole from the wait station, slimming it with pickle ranch slobber. Never a dull moment with that dude around. Pickle boy, wherever you are today, I really hope you got the help you so desperately needed, but I was not sorry to see you go. Eater. For those who are asking about the term 86, on this case it means we kicked him out permanently. Not a worker, but I went to hometown buffet and the kid in front of me was slightly shorter than the buffet bar, but had his hands in the yellow jello, just massaging it. Then his mom came by and snatched him away, but didn't say anything, while a guy came and made himself a bowl of jello. 10-year-old me was too appalled to say anything. I haven't eaten jello since then. The jello looked tense. He was just helping a brother out. Not a worker, but I was at a Chinese buffet with a hot pot option that you had to pay extra for. There was a separate section with the stuff for that which was raw. This guy loaded up his plate with all this raw stuff and was eating it, including dangerous raw stuff like shrimp. I think he may have been slightly intellectually disabled. The Chinese staff had to come over and inform him that he was eating the wrong things and try to explain it to him. He got really embarrassed and said that he did not understand how it worked. Between the Chinese staff with their limited English and this poor guy who was not capable of really understanding what he had done wrong, it was one of those awkward moments in a life that you cannot forget, no matter how much you try. Not an employee or a customer, but we had a Chinese buffet shut down for a health code violation, which was employee was cutting Vegas while taking a shit. To this day I still wonder if that means dude brought a bucket into the kitchen or Vegas into the shitter, and I honestly don't know which is worse. I gotta respect that dedication to work.